Today we have Jim Smith leading today's presentation. He is one of our client advocates, and he will be telling you a little bit more about himself. So without further ado, Jim, I will hand it over to you.
And today I'm going to talk about getting the most out of your relationship with your client advocate, how PCC can work as a team to make your office successful. Session goals is going to be to understand PCC's CA role, spark some new ideas to work on with your CA, insight on the revised support model. Who am I? I've worked at PCC for just about 5 years, maybe a little more. I've worked in pediatrics for most of my life. I am a scout leader. I'm a dad, a youth mentor, a husband, retired military, and I am a Shriner. So when you see this picture, that's right. I am one of those guys that wears a funny hat and drives one of the little cars. And most importantly, I am your friend. What is a client advocate? Or correction, what is a CA? A CA is a client advocate. PCC's definition is actively engaging in clients in regular communication to gain the understanding of their practice's goals to ensure that they are utilizing PCC's programs, services that are available to them, assist them in meeting their goals, to foster personal relationships with each client so that they experience the value of the partnership with PCC. Now, in Jim's words, what is a CA? It's a person to check in with. How you doing? Talk you off the ledge because you have some ideas, but you want to run them by somebody. We're here to help you, to have a good laugh at the jokes or stories you have to share. And sometimes you like to listen to our stories back. We like to jumpstart the thought process. Person to talk out loud about whatever's on your mind. Start those juices flowing for the bigger projects that you've been working towards or you put to the back burner, and now we're like, hey, let's get those started. Just one thing to remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question. So, we're here for you, so ask it. And it's okay to wash, rinse, and repeat. And this is why I love my job at PCC, being a client advocate, is personally engaging with each and every one of the people in your office to get the job done for you and also for PCC. What is the goal with the CA role? It's to share what the client's findings, feedbacks, and what's going on with our product to all of the host of teams here at PCC. Being, if you have a billing issue, we share it with EDI. Maybe you have a problem with Notify, so we share it with the interop team. Or maybe you've got this burning wish that, oh, I wish the product could do this. So we'll put the enhancement in for you to our development team so they can take a look at what people are asking for. We want to also ensure that you're taking full advantage of the PCC experience that we offer to you, and to build those lasting relationships with each other, which makes both of us successful, you and me. What topics or where do I start with my CA? Some of you do have a long list, but that's okay. You are in the driver's seat on this one. We go where the need is or where you bring us. Maybe the office manager has an idea. Maybe the providers have other ideas. What are your pain points? While your CA will be able to answer and solve most issues with your software, that's not the only problem that plagues your office. We have certified project managers to help us. We have certified professional coders, experts on the meaningful use in the patient-centered medical home. We have people that can work on your workflows and more under the same roof here at PCC. If your CA isn't able to answer your question, I'm absolutely sure they can find somebody that can. Not only can we get your questions answered, but we can set up times to get either you or your staff trained on particular subjects. And don't worry, you don't have anything to talk about. I bet you we can find something to talk about. What and why do you call so much? Well, it's based on your needs. It's on your request. What are you asking of us? What's going on? Examples for calls, we could be calling you monthly. We could be calling you bi-weekly. We could call you as needed. That is on you. Also, the best part about the CA calls, we don't charge a copay for our visits or our calls. And we also now offer free parking. So who should we chat with in your office? Well, that's totally up to you guys. Do we talk to the office manager? Maybe there's a billing manager. Who's willing? Do you just hand the phone to, oh, it's Jim from PCC, talk to him. New employees, we assist with training. So if you have that new employee, the CA or somebody here at PCC working with the CA will get that person trained up for you. Do the providers want to chat with us? Maybe your local IT, and probably you is who we want to talk to. So the updated support model and how it works with my CA. That's big news. You know, we've updated the support model to align with similar terms that you guys use every day in the pediatric world. Clients, which is you're our patients. We need to perform well in acute visits with your office. Based on the level of care needed, your CA will set up the correct call schedule to meet your needs. PCC is your care team. How it works. Well visits. The well visits are the check-in calls that you do with your client advocate. It's the bigger projects. It's maybe, should we raise our prices? When should we update forms? Workflows, your PCMH, your medical use, meaningful use, I'm sorry. When you want, you know, what do we do when and how do we do it? How do we get that report out of PCC? The acute visits. That's where the rapid response team, the software support specialist, and the hardware team, the technical solutions team, can assist you with these. These are your break fixes, something that needs to be done today, right now, maybe tomorrow, right now. You can call in and talk to one of those wonderful people that help the CAs continue our mission to support your office. So we have that new role called the software solutions specialist that works with the CAs to get your everyday tickets done and also the rapid response team. So how do I get in contact with my CA? Wait, who is my CA? As a CA, the role is getting improved to better you and your practice. The CAs will be reaching out to you in the next couple of weeks to reestablish that call schedule of, do you want to continue talking weekly? Or maybe, you know, we should go to every other week, or some of you may opt to say monthly is good or quarterly. The best person to ask of how often we should call and get is your CA. Does your CA want you to email them direct, maybe a phone call, ticket through the support@pcc.com or the 800 number, and then ask for me. Now, Vermont is kind of cloudy right now, so we had to retire that use of the bat signal right there. Sorry, folks. That was not my call. That was the management's call. The session takeaways. The PCC model, CA model, can offer your office a lot. as you just heard me speaking about, we can offer you a whole host of many, many, many topics. Is what is going on in the current marketplace with all this COVID. You guys have been asking a lot of good questions to say, what is other offices doing? How can you help me do this? How can you help me do that? There's all kinds of meaningful things to talk about on these calls. The new revised support is really going to help your office as well. So when you can't wait to talk to your CA that maybe have a call 2 weeks down the road, there's always somebody ready to assist your office at every turn, being the new rapid response model, the software support specialist, the hardware team. You know, do you need help with the billing? Don't hesitate to pick up the phone. Don't hesitate to punt in a ticket. And sometimes when I'm on these calls, they say, geez, Jim, you talk way too much. But that's the important piece, is fostering that relationship. That's the one thing I really enjoy the most, is getting to know each and every one of the people in the office, so that when that call is happening, you know, we can say, hey, how's so-and-so doing? How is the new location going? You know, it's even as simple as, how's the weather in your state today? I have some good little references that we use that are also open to you as well. I highly encourage the learn.pcc.com. I did talk about the PCMH, you know, a couple slides back. PCMH at pcc.com. If your office is starting to want to look at that, there's the resource there where you can look into. The awesome resource that we offer here is the PCC Community. That is a valuable piece that's just for PCC clients just like you, that you can log into and ask the question. If you say, hey, I need to know, how are people doing parking lot visits during this COVID-19? Post it to PCC Community, because I bet you one of our fellow clients would be happy to let you know on how it's working for them, or maybe sometimes how not it's working for them. And of course, there's my brain, or better yet, why don't you pick your CA's brain? That's what we're here for, to help you every step of the way. I know that was short and sweet and to the point, but if you have questions, you can funnel them to the chat and I will gladly answer them. If you want me to hit on something that you think I went too quick, or if you have questions on, well, I could say the sky is blue. It's been 90+ degrees here the last couple of days, so we're all melting. So if you have questions, let me know.
Excellent. So it looks like a lot of people are saying hello to you, Jim.
That's great. Hello back. I'm minus a haircut here, you guys. You know, it's been a really tough COVID here.
Yes, someone is, Tommy is excited that you are now their CA.
Wonderful. And I'll be reaching out very soon.
So we just got a question. Should someone contact their CA, or should they call the 800 number? Or should they email support@pcc.com? What's the best way to reach PCC?
Well, the best way, like I was saying earlier, the best way to reach PCC is to, as always, you can always pick up the phone and call and say, hey, this is what's going on and this is what I'd like to talk about. Or adding a ticket to support@pcc.com and say, hey, Jim, this is what I'm thinking about this week for our call, or this is what's on my brain, and our lovely rapid response team or myself sometimes will pick up those tickets and see what has going on. So it's whatever you prefer. If you want to talk to somebody on the phone, call the 800 number, and you can almost ask to say, does my CA have a minute to take my call? And if not, we'll gladly get right back to you when we have the spare moment, or punt in the ticket if you don't want to talk to us right off and say, here's my thoughts of what we're doing. Myself, my fellow CAs will see that ticket and we'll know how to, when we call you, to have the pieces and parts that you're looking for.
Okay. And I think there was also a comment that sometimes I'm not sure if they should just go to PCC Community or if they should ask their CA, but I guess like you said, it's what they're comfortable with.
That's right. And remember I said earlier, there's no stupid questions. So if you are like holding back because, you're like, hey, we're moving into a new office space and I don't know what color the waiting room should be. I've done that with a few offices. We've talked color. So, I mean, it's pretty funny when, all of a sudden I come in one day and I have, a color book on my desk saying, which do you think looks good? And it's A, B, or C. And, that makes it fun because we're part of your family. So PCC Community is that great resource as well, that if you say, hey, I need to have an idea on how I'm going to do this or how I'm going to do that, you've picked our brain, but you've got a whole host of other people can pick their brain as well. So it's all, you're in the driver's seat. You guys decide which is best fit for you.
All right. Well, thank you. And it looks like that's all the questions we have so far.
Okay.
Wait another minute to see if I'm getting another one sent to me right now.
Perfect. I know I was quick to the point, but like us CAs, sometimes it's quick draw McGraw, because 1 minute you're talking about how to get flu kids into clinic, and the next phone call, that's what makes this really cool. Just like when you're a provider and you're seeing visits, 1 minute you might be seeing an ear infection, the next one you're seeing a diaper rash, and the next one's a well child visit. That's the best part about being a CA. It's different with every phone call, which is a great value, really great value. And it makes my job that much more enjoyable.
Excellent. And we have a lot of client advocates. I'm not sure what our numbers are at this point, but everyone's great to work with at PCC.
That's right.
Yeah.
With the new model, I glazed over that. You're right. I should say that. Grace brought a good point. With this new improved support model, there is now 2 CAs per team, and there's 2. So you have the blue team, the red team, and the green team, and we each have 2 CAs now per team.
Excellent. So I do have another question that just came in. As a CA, what's your favorite kind of problem to solve?
Well, it's a whole host of them. I really like to talk about workflows. Do we use Bright Futures? What kind of visits should we do? I kind of like to help you guys. And I know there's probably providers watching me right now, so if they have to plug their ears, but remember, our job's to help your workflow. So it's like, let's work on that protocol to get that doctor, provider, nurse practitioner, get them in the room and keep them in the room. So when they come out of the room and ask for 2 or 3 or 4 things, maybe there's something lacking in the workflow. Maybe there's something missing in the protocol. So I like to dive in and say, hey, let's get that piece done for you guys. Let's help you out. And I also have a passion for vaccines. So I will be looking at your vaccine reports to see, I'm trying to go for those dashboard awards to who has the best vaccine rates. So I do peek at your vaccine levels and say, hey, let's do a recall for, Hep A number 2s, because you're kind of dipping right there. So I kind of like to help you guys bring people in and then make the visits successful by everybody that's involved, that touches the protocol, says hello to the patient, grabs their copay. That's my favorite part of the job.
Nice. And so what about when clients call in or reach out? What can they give to help you help them?
Well, we like to know, like, of course, who you are, what office you're calling from. Of course, that's naturally what best phone number to call you back at, because we're all in a different state right now, or maybe we're in our living room. But lucky me, I got to come into PCC today. So, it's good to know. And then just what's going on, what do you need help with? It's kind of like when we used to be in school, the who, what, how, when, why. The more details you can give us, like you say, hey, I'm missing an ERA and I can't do anything with this, add those extra pieces in there of, hey, Jim's going to want to know the check date, the check amount, and, where it was coming from, and it's, the little steady things like that to help us start digging on the problem that much more quicker to help you. Because, I don't want you to have to wait. And us CAs and rapid response that, we want to get you to a quick resolution as quick as we can. And, the more details you can give to what's going on. And if you can't, just say, hey, I have a personal matter. Can you call me when you can? That's fine too. If you don't feel comfortable, spelling it right out and you need that phone call, that's perfectly okay as well.
Okay. And I know I used to take more phone calls. I'm in admin at PCC. And a few times, you can let me know if this is actually helpful, Jim. I was told to ask for, if there was a specific issue someone was having, get a date of service and a PCC patient number. Just again, like you've been saying, that way we can try and do some work behind the scenes before calling you, so that whoever's calling you back, whether it's your CA or someone else in support, can have an idea of what exactly they're looking at to fix.
And that's true. The important part is you're right, is the PCC number. Because if you just say, I have a kiddo that was seen today at 9:00 and I can't prescribe for him, and I look at your schedule and there's 4 9:00s, I'm going to be like, which one? So you're right. So, and you guys are really good about giving us all the information we need and some, which is really good. That's the best part. The more, the merrier, right?
Excellent. Okay. So I think that
I have about 3
it.
more slides if there's no more questions.
Yeah, looks like that is all the questions that we have so far.
Okay, so I just put a plug in there, like Grace was saying in the beginning, in case you missed any of these UC courses, they are posted on PCC's 2020 YouTube channel, which my kids are going to be proud of me because Dad's on social media, because I'm not on social media. I am now. So, so there you go. So I'm live on YouTube, I guess. So that's a good thing. Check it out. Share it with your coworkers. If anybody says, Jim usually has shorter hair, they're right. I usually do. So the barbershop's open tomorrow. But, in case you say, hey, that crazy guy that calls on the phone, watch this. This is him. So, it's good. And also, if you're wondering, hey, when Jan or Lynn or whoever you were listening to the other day, you had to go put a patient in a room, guess what? They're recorded so you can watch them again. And my last slide is to thank you. I want to thank all of you for taking the last 27 minutes listening to me rant and rave and enjoy how much being a CA is awesome. But I want to thank you for what you do every day to keep the kiddos in your state, your community, your town healthy, especially in the last 3 months, but also for the next year going forward and what's to come. Let's get them back in so we can bolster those numbers again.
Well, thank you very much for leading this session, Jim. And thank you to everyone who watched and sent in questions. Thank you very much. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope that you're enjoying this virtual UC. So thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys. See you later.